Hey everyone, welcome to the final episode of Eureka Life. And today, we're talking about the world around Rizal, his context, yung chaos, the control, and why the government was slowly shook sa kanya.
Late 1800s, the Philippines was under the Spanish colonial rule. As in, the friars weren't just teaching religion. They were running schools, collecting taxes, and controlling lives. Education, para lang sa mga pili ito eh. Justice, lopsided. Pinoys were basically treated as second-class citizens sa sariling bayan.
Kaya nga Rizal and his squad, the propaganda movement, rose up. Hindi sila armed rebels. They were writers, artists, doctors, thinkers. Ang goal nila, peaceful reform. Gusto nila ng press freedom, equal rights, and Filipino representation sa Spanish courtas.
And I think La Solidaridad was their main platform. It was a journalistic weapon. Doon sila nagsulat about injustice, reforms, and national identity. Pero syempre, the Spanish government saw that as a threat. So, ang ginawa nila, they banned all of it. Puro ban, and as in La Solidaridad, and all of it were gone. And also, Rizal's books, Noli and Philly, banned, and even their names, they were on the watch list.
Grabe no, parang makakatakot lang magsulat, pero pinagpatuloy pa rin nila. And noong 1892 si Rizal, bumalik siya sa Maynila. Hindi siya tumahimik na eh. He formed La Liga Filipina. It is a group that aimed for peaceful reforms within the system. Pero guess what? Siguro expected, ayun, naaresto pa rin siya.
As in, hindi pa nga nakaka-full swing ang liga, boom! Rizal was also exiled to Dapitan. Imagine doing everything legally tapos ganun pa rin ang ending mo.
Meanwhile, habang nasa dapitan si Rizal, sa background, the revolution was brewing in 1896. The Katipunan, led by Bonifacio, finally said, enough! Armed uprising na to. And kahit hindi sumali si Rizal sa revolt, the government still blamed him. Kasi, let's be honest, Noli and Philly sparked that fire.
Oopsie. These words, it gave people the language for their anger. It gave shape to their suffering, and kaya tahimik siya, they saw him as dangerous. And so, he was arrested again, and this time, this was for good.
Oo nga eh. He was tried in military court and di man lang siya nabigyan ng fair trial nun eh. And noong December 30, 1896, Rizal was executed sa Bagong Bayan.
But here's the twist. His death wasn't the end. It was the spark. After mamatay ni Rizal, the revolution only grew stronger. Kasi people saw, if Rizal, an educated, peaceful, uh, na isang tao, was killed for telling the truth, then maybe may dapat talagang baguhin.
His death became a symbol, a line in the sun. He didn't hold the sword, but his pen was just as powerful. Imagine a single man writing books that could shake a colonial empire.
And that's Rizal's legacy. That one person with clarity, courage, and conviction can make the most powerful system tremble. That's why they were afraid.
So, as we close this final episode, sana nag-iba yung tingin niyo kay Rizal na hindi lang siya basta figure sa history, pero tao din siya na someone you can learn from and baka nga makarelate pa rin kayo sa kanya.
And he is someone brave pero hindi perfect. Someone who doubted, who struggled, but kept going. He wasn't loud all the time, but when he spoke, may tama, prinsipyo, at malaking puso.
Siya ay more than a martyr. Rizal was a mirror, a reminder to us, am I doing my part? Kahit maliit lang, kahit tahimik lang.
Kaya this isn't goodbye. We hope Rizal stays with you, the daily life, the struggles, and sorrows. Let him remind you that knowledge is power, at minsan, panulat ang tunay na sandata.
This is your Rizalize.
Stay curious.
Stay woke,
stay reasonless. Thank you for watching.